Welcome to a special Missouri Valley Conference Skype session. I'm Andy Katz. Pleased to be joined by Drake's Darian DeVries. Drake is going to take on Boise State this week in part of the Missouri Valley Conference Mountain West Conference Challenge, off to a 3-1 start. The only loss so far to the Pac-12's Colorado. Darren, I saw this Drake team a year ago at the beginning of the season. A lot of veteran players. Thought they would be definitely a big contender for the Missouri Valley Conference title, and they were sort of in the mix at times. Since you took over this program, what basically has impressed you the most in terms of the returning group that you inherited?
Well, really, we only had 3 guys on scholarship when I got the job, and Nick McGlynn was the one guy that had played and started, and then Noah Thomas had played a little bit. So there was really those 2 guys that had any type of experience coming back. So we had a lot of work to do right when we got the job just to fill a roster, and we were able to sign 8 guys in the spring and add a couple walk-ons, so we could play 5-on-5, thankfully, and once we got through the summer and things. So it's been a fun process getting to this point, and the guys have been working hard, and they're looking forward to a tough Boise State team tomorrow night.
And how have you put your imprint on the program so far?
We've tried to do a lot of the things that we did at Creighton in terms of the type of guys that we recruit and the style of play that we want to instill, and that's a very fast-paced offensive style that really puts a huge focus on transition, and then defensively, really relying on being connected as a group to be solid and sound at both ends of the floor.
So with that being the point, the Colorado game probably stands out because giving up 100. How much did you circle that, with your players? Like, okay, that's what we can't do if we're going to be the kind of team that we need to be this season in the Valley.
Well, we did a great job of getting the pace established
Yes.
in that game. It just, that game got away from us. We were down 1 with about 3 minutes to go in the half, and then Colorado hit us with a huge burst right before halftime, and we were just never really recovered. So we chalked that one up and just tried to put it away and learn from it a little bit. And a lot of that, Colorado did a good job of getting us in transition, so we had to shore that up a little bit. But I thought our guys did a great job of responding after that game and have really been focused on what we need to do to win games, and that's part of the learning curve that we're going through.
So obviously you're very familiar with the Valley, with Drake, with Iowa and Nebraska basketball and the whole area. Since you've been there, the passion for the sport, how have you seen it exhibited here in your short tenure there?
Well, I think, everybody in the state of Iowa, with Northern Iowa, Iowa State, Drake, you got 4 state schools right here. And basketball, there's a lot of really good high school coaches in the state that really put a lot of time into their craft. And so I think there is a lot of interest level at the high school level, at the youth level, that carries over into the college level. So, it's a fun state to be a coach in and to be a part of, because there is so much interest in what we have going.
All right. So for you guys to be a, top 3-4 contender in the Valley this season, by the time we get to the real Valley schedule after the holidays, what has to go right?
Well, we don't have a lot of margin for error, just with all the new guys and things. But for us, we just got to continue to grow, not chemistry-wise, but just learning how to play with each other and what each other's strengths are, not only as a coaching staff, but every guy on the team is kind of new to each other as well. So they're still learning about us and what we need, and just developing those habits. And then they're learning each other and where how to best use one another's talents out on the floor. So we just got to make sure that we continue on the path we're on. We're all, very well connected, and they get along so well, and they're all eager and hungry to learn. And if we can keep doing that, I think we'll be a pretty good basketball team by the time March rolls around.
And Darren, Loyola, what they did last season, not just for outside the Power 6-7 conferences, but also for the Valley. What's the value in what they were able to achieve for the rest of the league?
Well, I think it's huge for us in recruiting. You just you're telling kids the truth in terms of, like, we can accomplish everything from here, and you need to have the right fit and the right chemistry, and things got to go right. But that's true of every school, out there, whether it's a Power 5 school or the Missouri Valley or whatever conference you're in. When you get the right mix and the right chemistry chemistry, you can do a lot of really good things. And the Valley's been able to do that with multiple Final Four appearances over the last 10 years. So it's certainly a league that is a basketball league, and we're excited to be a part of it.
Appreciate it, Darren. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you, Andy.